Fred here, welcome back to the Gear Obsession channel. In this episode, we will be taking a look at the Netgear Push2TV, so stay tuned. So the question you should be asking yourself is, what is this box and why do I need it? And is it worth it? This little guy, what you do is you hook it up to a TV or anything that has a HDMI input, some sort of display or whatever, and you can push things wirelessly onto that display. So if you have a cell phone with like Allcast, or I think that's Samsung's name of their proprietary WiDi, that's W-I-D-I protocol, or if you have a new modern tablet, a lot of Windows 8.1 tablets have it all built in, where you can go ahead and push that picture via WiDi to this box to a big display, so you don't have to crowd around, your cell phone when you're showing something off, or crowd around your tablet. You can just throw it on the TV set. So now the question you should be asking yourself is, does it work? So let's first take a close look at the box. I mentioned Allcast and WiDi, or W-I-D-I, however you want to pronounce it. Also, another name for it is Miracast, and I'm sure that everyone's going to have their own other names to push to devices that have standards. The WiDi standard to have standards. That's a good one. Anyway, taking a close look at the box. Nothing really on the bottom, nothing on the top other than the Netgear name. On the front there's a light. On the right side there's a button, and that's an important button. And on the back you have a little reset pin, you got to push with a pin thing, an HDMI, and a power plug. Now the button is important because you put it in a mode that allows you to update this thing. It turns it into a Wi-Fi hotspot that you connect with your wireless device, because you have to go to a web page, which would, well, first of all, you would see it listed as an access point. You would go ahead and log on to that access point with one of your wireless devices, and then you would bring up a web page, 192.168.3.1, and there you go ahead and you could upload firmware updates. And you definitely want to put the latest firmware update onto this. Now, this is not an instructional video or really an in-depth review as far as getting into the technicalities of this. I'm just reviewing it and letting you see what it could do and whether it's worth the $60 that this thing costs. Now, it came with a power supply, and it came with a USB cable, so you could go ahead and you put one side of the cable in there, you put the other one in there, and it powers it. Now you could also just plug it into a USB port on the back of your TV to power it, as well as connecting the HDMI cable to your TV, and then you don't have another thing going into a plug or surge protector or whatever. So what I'm going to do now is hook it up to a TV, and we'll go ahead and try it out, see if it's worth it. Alrighty then, let's go ahead and plug this in to the power supply, and then I'm going to plug it into the HDMI port. So it's right down here, just sitting on my desk right here. I don't know if you can see it, you probably can't. And I'm going to go ahead and turn the TV set on. Make sure that the TV, you selected the input, the HDMI plug, that of course you plug the thing in. If you can't figure that out, maybe this device is not really for you. But alright, so that's how long it takes to come up. Now you can see it says to check for regular updates, push that button on the side for 7 seconds, and it brings it up in that access point mode, where you could go to your phone, to your wireless, look for that access point, connect to it, then open up the browser, go to 192.168.3.1, and upload the firmware. And you got to go online to Netgear's website to find that firmware, download it. Again, not a technical video here. If you're looking for one, There are others on YouTube, not here. Anyway, it's ready. It's ready to connect. So with my Samsung phone, let's go ahead and connect. What I'm going to go ahead and do is pull down and go to screen mirroring. I have a little screen mirroring button. I'm going to go ahead and press that button, and that thing should find this device. It says connecting. The first time you connect, it might list it as that Netgear device. You might see something listed there as a PTV3000 or something like that, and it might ask you to put some numbers in there to, just like Bluetooth pairing. It's sort of a pairing security feature. So anyway, there you go. There you go. That's my phone right there, up on the screen. So is it laggy? You could see. I'm going to go ahead and zoom up so you can see how well that is mirroring. And you can see there is about a half a second delay there. It's not really good for playing games. Let me see if I can find a game here. Okay, here we go. It actually does a pretty poor job playing games. Whoops. So you can see that. I'm gonna let's do the hovercraft here. Next. And by the way, it does do sound also. Start. All right. Oh, look at that. Screen mirroring has been turned off. It already failed. That's what I've been experiencing. As soon as I try to push this to do anything other than like the menu, it usually ends up disconnecting and failing. So, do I blame it on the push device? No, I do not, because I know it works better with my tablet. It just sucks with my phone for some reason, and I don't know why my phone is doing that. I do have a lot of extra crap running on here, and I also have a what do you call it? A different launcher system on here, so that could be screwing life up. I don't know. So anyway, it's waiting to be hooked up again. I have my tablet here, so I am going to hook up to that. So I go to, you pull that side thing out there, and I'm gonna choose let's see, project, and then I have the wireless display, PVT whatever, right there. I'm gonna hit that. It says connecting, and it should mirror my display here. Oh, you know what? I think I set it up for an extension of the display. And I'll just go ahead and show that feature. So there we go. You can see it's like a second screen. I could set it up to mirror this display, but you could also go in there and tweak it so you can make it like a second display. And that's what I have going on here. So let me see, like if I were to open up a browser, let's go ahead and double click that. I'll bring up my browser. You can see, and I'm going to drag it over to this window here. Whoops. So you can see it. It's sitting right there. Whoops. Now I need a mouse. Let me turn on my wireless mouse, my Bluetooth mouse here. This way I can sort of click and drag it over. All right. So you can see it dragging over from one to the other right there as the second display. And I'm going to just set this right here. So you can see it's like having a whole nother computer. The update there, again, half a second delay. Not too terrible. Let me see. Go to my YouTube. channel. I can go to full screen there, looking all pretty. Now the way that this works is, this is actually talking. My phone was, and now this tablet is actually sending a signal directly to this device. So it works better the closer you are to the device. It's not working through your wireless network. That WiDi protocol is a direct, like peer-to-peer. However it works, I don't know the specifics. So the further you get away, you know, of course, the slower it gets because of the greater range. And I'm not sure what the range is, but you need to be fairly close, especially if you have a lot of other RF things going on, interference and all that yada yada yada. So anyway, just to show you everything here. I don't know if I got this muted or not. Maybe crank up the sound a little bit. So you can see it's kind of choppy, it's not very smooth. It did kind of smooth out now. It was a little slow to get synced up, and then as the video went on, it's getting quicker. Okay, so there you go. You can see that it's not a perfect science. It doesn't work perfectly. It is good for presentations. Let's say you have a small office or something like that, and you want to, you know, quickly put your screen up there and do a presentation or a demo, something that's not really doing a lot of full motion kind of things. It's not good for games. Don't, you know, because if you're playing a game and you hit a button, it's going to take half a second for it. So those type of games are not going to work very good on this. But it's good for presentations, good for showing pictures. And with videos, it's I don't know. It started out a little laggy in that demonstration, but then it finally smoothed out. I think for showing videos and things like that, Chromecast is probably a better choice. Playing games, that Chromecast dongle is probably a much better choice. But for just throwing an entire screen, you know, or an entire picture off your tablet or your phone up on the screen to do presentations, pictures, things like that, this device could be good. I don't know if it's worth $60. I'm not sure. I'm disappointed with it personally. I think if I knew everything that I know now as far as the way it works and everything, I probably wouldn't buy it. Okay, so there you have it. That is the Netgear PTV3000 or the Push2TV, $60. It's not really recommended here at the Gear Obsession channel, but if you do have specific needs for what I demonstrated here, where you just need to mirror a screen of a tablet or a phone up to a display, it could be good. But you know, Chromecast I think does a lot better job because you're streaming through your network. You're not streaming directly to this device. You're sort of accessing it through your network, and that gives you greater range, you know, as long as within your reach of your wireless access point in your house, things like that. And the Chrome TV dongle there, Chromecast, I might be calling it something wrong with that little Chromecast dongle and everything, just seemed to be a smoother experience overall when showing videos. And now that the API has been released by Google, a lot of developers will develop for it to also utilize a lot of its functions. And I heard a rumor that the home screen might get some additional features, like you'll be able to have the weather, local weather, and maybe sequence pictures or something like that through it too. So a lot of nice things to come as far as that. As far as this concerned, it's probably not going to get much better than it is now. They'll probably come out with a new one. So not really recommended. I think it was a waste of, I believe I paid like $40, $50. I got it on special. and I've been messing with it for a couple of months, and I'm not happy with it. Alright, well, thank you very much for joining me here at the Gear Obsession channel. I really appreciate every friend, viewer, subscriber, and you. And I hope you have a great weekend. Take care. Goodbye.